After a poor start to the race for Mercedes Valtteri Bottas, teammate Lewis Hamilton seemed all set to cruise to another victory. However, a retirement for Haas driver Kevin Magnussen just before the pit lane entry brought out the safety car. Lewis Hamilton chose to pit, but it was soon revealed that he had done so while the pit lane was closed. This earned him a race-ruining stop-go penalty. Team principal Toto Wolff has now gone into the details of what many saw as a rare mistake from the championship leaders. I'm your host Dillon Shelley, and first up on Formula World, the sequence of events that derailed Lewis's race. Wolff began by broadly describing the unusual situation. It was a weird sequence of events that maybe we could have spotted earlier. The decisions that were taken were highly unusual, but they were absolutely within the rules. He then laid out the sequence of events, starting with the retirement of Haas driver Kevin Magnussen. One of the Haas cars was parked to the right, near the entry, on the inside of Parabolica, and there was a single yellow. 11 seconds later, a safety car was deployed. In a normal circumstance, they deploy a safety car if a Formula 1 car is in 1,000 Lego bits in some corners, but that wasn't the case. They could have pushed it back easily, or you deploy a virtual safety car for such a situation. He then explained how the lack of a sign at the pit entry caused further confusion. Once the safety car was deployed, they put the entry to the pit lane on red, but it wasn't exactly red, it was 2 yellow crosses on the outside. We as a team inside didn't know that the pit lane was closed. We were all concentrating for the stop. The engineers were turned towards the pit box. Then, one of our engineers spotted on page 4 of the FIA communication systems that said pit lane closed. He further criticised the signs that were there on the track informing the drivers that the pit lane was closed. We don't see any of the orange crosses on the outside that say you cannot enter. There is no red light that could have been seen. So very unlucky for Lewis. These signs on the exit, yellow or orange crosses, not blinking, and you as a driver who is about to pit, you can't see it. He signed off by suggesting what could be done to make things better for the future. We need to look at the sequence of events and discuss with the sporting director and the stewards on how we can improve such a situation. The funny crosses on the outside should be red first of all. Maybe they should be blinking. Then on the pit lane entry, like we have had for bloody 50 years, put a damn red light. Fast feed. Ferrari have confirmed that they have also withdrawn their protest against Racing Point. Meanwhile, Racing Point have announced that now with the ambiguity around the regulations has been settled, they have decided to withdraw their appeal against the punishment they received in the wider interests of the sport. AlphaTauri team principal Franz Tost thinks that the team did a fantastic job and Pierre drove really great, and that Gasly was really strong because he didn't make any mistakes. He also feels that if Pierre leaves them, it will be a compliment to the team, but Tost is pretty optimistic he'll stay here. He also revealed that the team won't party as they have to clean everything up and get ready to race again next week in Mugello. Monza race winner Pierre Gasly wishes that the fans and the Tifosi could be there at the podium. He also stayed back on the podium after the celebrations as he really wanted to enjoy the podium. It won't happen that often. It was confirmed that Renault will race under the new name of Alpine F1 team in the French colours of red, white and blue next year. Luca De Meo, CEO of Group Renault, added that they are bringing a dream brand alongside the biggest names for spectacular car races made and followed by enthusiasts. Toto Wolff has suggested that one driver does not have priority over another, and that they have always played in a completely open, transparent and fair manner, and they will continue to do so. Red Bull's Max Verstappen has explained that he learnt from a very young age that you have to be realistic. Sometimes that sounds a bit depressing, but maybe for him it works the best because you don't end up being disappointed. Red Bull have announced that they spotted an issue on the PU and therefore had to retire Max. Racing Point's Lance Stroll was very happy with P3 as it's been a few years since he's been on the podium, while confirming that victory was out of their reach. Ferrari Sebastian Vettel is of the opinion that tough times are a part of life and a part of sports, but at the moment he thinks it's not fair to all the guys that put so much effort in. He also thinks that it's probably a blessing that there was nobody in the stands at Monza. Williams' former deputy team principal, Claire Williams, feels that if she inspired one woman to come into this sport, that makes her incredibly happy. And she also hopes that women do keep coming to work in this sport, because it is a great sport and it is very welcoming to females. Were the closed pit lane warning signs clear enough? Head over to my community page to vote in the poll and let me know what you think in the comments. And if you liked this video, feel free to subscribe and check out my others for all the latest in the world of Formula 1.